Well, hello, everyone. Welcome into TexAgs Rewind. I am David Nuno. We got Caitlin Torres in the house. Callie Gardner, hello.
Howdy.
Hey.
So this first time you both have been on the air at the same time.
First time. We've been trying to figure
Have you been
something out
planning
to
this?
do it.
Or just...
Yeah, this was our
Just talking about it.
our
Maybe
secret plan.
we planned it for today.
So usually on the Rewind, I ask dumb questions and you all just answer. So we'll ask some dumb questions. What was your favorite part of the show? Callie, you start us off.
I think my favorite part was Stephen McGee. I know
Really?
he's on here a lot, but I always enjoy his commentary and analysis of things that are going on in the college football world. I've been a big fan of his for a while. So
Our QB1.
Our QB1.
Caitlin?
I think mine was Logan Lee again. It was him
Logan.
last week. I love talking Aggie basketball.
I'll say it, both of you are real basketball enthusiasts, right?
We are.
We actually went to the last
Yeah, we
game
went to the game together.
TexAgs has done this for a long time. Like Dalton and Zane and Jamie all became great friends working here. I know that Kay Nagley, she's developed like a bunch of dear friends with her, like continuously. Like everybody who works here, Luke and I think Matthew Dawson work together. Who am I missing, Nick? There's others that have been like dear friends.
Yeah, me and you, David.
Oh, me and you. Yeah.
Obviously.
Nick and I went to the bar the other day together. Anyway, I also liked Fox Sports Radio's Aaron Torres because he likes to make fun of me. That was good. Olin Buchanan. And by the way, props to OB and for Nick for starting the show. I had to take care of some family stuff. They were great. They were fantastic. We call it the Rewind, right? Should they watch it?
You should watch it.
Watch it. Watch the Rewind.
Watch it. We're just going to keep saying watch it until you watch it. Watch it again. One more time.
Watch it.
I am not going to read too much into a victory over Missouri, but what I will read into is 4 out of 5 wins, and when they clamp down defensively, they clamped down defensively a couple of different times to basically suffocate the Tigers last night.
They really did. Missouri's whole offense seemed like it was really dependent on the three-point shot. And I think they had 4 3-pointers by not too late in the first half. They only got 3 in the second half, and I think a couple of them were right away.
Yep.
And then A&M adjusted, and when Missouri couldn't hit a lot of three-pointers, I think they ended up finished with 7, if I'm not mistaken. Their offense went with them. And then if they missed, A&M was rebounding it. A&M was forcing turnovers and turning them into points. It was a really good, strong defensive effort.
Yep. Anderson Garcia, what did he have in the first half? 11?
11 rebounds in the first half.
That dude has been phenomenal, like legit phenomenal.
He really has. And, it's one of those things that so many people just look at points.
Yep.
But if you'll look at the whole thing, and you see that he had about 16 rebounds. I think he had 5 assists. He might have had 2 block shots, maybe 3, some steals. The guy just does so much that sometimes getting ignored. I still remember last year that win over Alabama, and A&M looks like they had this tenuous lead, and I think they had just missed a shot in the last minute, and Alabama's they're thinking, okay, we're going to come down here and go score and pull this one out. And the guy's making a pass, and here comes Anderson Garcia out of nowhere and intercepts it, and A&M wins. And that's just the kind of things he does.
That's who he is. What is that noise?
I don't know.
Did you hear that?
I did.
It's Callie's fault. Anyway, I'm not going to read too much into it.
It does. It's not the recruiting class anymore that gets the sole exam. It's going to be, as you said, the culmination of all 3 factors. And you did retain some really good guys, kept some good D linemen. Obviously, keeping Connor, that was the most important thing that the program's going to have happen in the next, quite some while. He's a heck of a player. You guys know that. But, besides those things, then going out in the portal and filling the needs with good veteran players, guys that can make a difference. It's not easy. It's basically turned into professional sports. You have to have a general manager. You have to have a guy that can recruit high school talent, right? That's like the NFL draft. But then you have to have a guy that is looking at rosters across the college landscape that can come in here and say, hey, this guy could make a difference. This guy's in the portal. He's a guy that we could add that could help us, right? So there's got to be eyes covering a lot of different levels of play, right? Not just major football conferences either. Being able to go find small school guys too is big.
Talking to Stephen McGee here on TexAgs Radio. Stephen, I don't know if you saw Greg Sankey yesterday. I think he was on Fine By, if not yesterday, in the last couple of days. Talked about the 5+7 college football playoff model, the 5 conference champions with the 7 at-large bids out there. And he thinks that could still be the case for 2024, which I find weird that we don't know the exact formula just yet, but it's because of the Pac-12, OB?
Yeah, I mean, so are you telling me that either Washington State or Oregon State gets in?
Guaranteed, yeah.
Because the Pac-12
It's Pac-2?
is the Pac-2.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's going to turn into 4 and 8.
But that's the world of college football we're in now, right? Like, we don't know, and it's freaking February.
It's wild. It really is. It's so many things have happened so quickly in the college football landscape. You know, the shifts in the transfer portal and being able to pay players, and then the conference realignments. It's this huge migration of the way we used to know sports to be. It looks very different now. And
what do you think about the job Coach Elko's been able to do 2.5 months into the gig, and not only get a nice class, get a really good transfer class, and retain a huge part of your roster that includes your starting quarterback?
Well, I think he's done an awesome job. And what I will say is I observed this from a distance this year is that I think every program goes through like a 3-4 day period, and it's not just when a coach takes over where it looks like everything is going sideways. I mean, even Georgia had a week where they lost, 17, 18 guys to the portal, whatever. And obviously, look, the outsider will say, well, you lost Walter Nolan. Well, you lost Evan Stewart. Well, you lost this guy. You lost that guy. And it's like, you actually look at who the team wanted. I know there are players that the team did not want to lose that they lost, but again, that's everybody. And I don't think the number is probably as big as people want to make it out to be. And so you use that as a jumping off point of, okay, the first 2 or 3 days were rocky. A bunch of guys entered the portal. What happened from there? And I think what stood out to me is Elko very clearly just has a plan and a vision. And I know every coach says it, but it's obvious that he does. I mean, he attacked first of all, he put together a really good staff, attacked the portal, filled a lot of holes. I mean, I remember talking to you last year, and it's like, we're having trouble in the portal. And I don't know whether it was the depth chart or the previous coaching staff, whatever, but he clearly had a great plan in place for the portal, brought in a lot of veteran players to kind of, again, plug spots in areas of need. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's exactly what you just said, David. I'm far from a recruiting expert, but we know that to win in this league, you need difference makers. And by all accounts, Terry Bussey is a true difference maker. So you need more than just one. But obviously, listen, this was the first big test. We know that, not just LSU, but Georgia and others really wanted this kid. And so to close that deal, to keep this kid at home, to keep this kid in the class and as the headliner of a class, I thought it was a really good job. I thought it was really impressive. And obviously now you turn your attention to 2025. But I think it now gives you momentum going into 2025 as well.
I think they got rid of a cancer in the locker room, and that's the injury bug.
Yeah.
Boots looks like he's healthy. He hasn't looked like he's been healthy. And you're seeing the effects of what he can do for this team. And not only himself individually, but his play has bolstered Anderson Garcia's play.
Right.
I mean, Anderson I can't say enough about his game and what he does for this team and what he would really do for any team when given the opportunity. I'm sure everybody that watched the game saw it at one point in the first half. He had 11 rebounds, or maybe it was at going into halftime. He had 11 rebounds. The whole Missouri team had 11 rebounds. What I'm not sure what time frame that was.
It was like towards 3 minutes left in the first half. Yeah.
And that's what he does. He's the announcers were talking about him the entire game. He only had 5 points, but he had multiple big time offensive rebounds. He had a handful of assists. He does it all for this team, and he does it all without getting the recognition.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about that. He wants to go win. He's a good teammate. But then you go back to the Boots factor and the way Tyrese Radford has been playing the last 2 games and what he has done to open up some easy shots for Wade Taylor. Wade's been in foul trouble the last 2 games a couple of times, but he still puts his mark on the game and he still impacts the game when he's on the court. And so you put those 3 together, and all of a sudden, you got a pretty good looking team. Now, if you can add another scoring option here or there, it doesn't have to be Hayden Hefner all the time. It doesn't have to be Jace Carter all the time. You can throw a couple of those in there, whatever mix and match, plug and play lineups that you want to have at specific times in the game, and you've got the potential to make a run like Buzz usually makes a run at the end of the year. Like we've all been waiting for this. And
All right, both of you, split up the duties, what the people are supposed to do.
Like,
Comment,
subscribe,
and share.
What else? Keep adding stuff to it.
Tell all your friends about it. Post on Instagram.
share it on Facebook.
TikTok.
Follow
Do
us on
people your
Twitter.
age use Facebook?
I do.
You have a Facebook
I
account?
have a Facebook.
I do not. And Bronny actually asked me to get on the Facebook Live yesterday for Bussey signing, and I almost had to log into my mom's Facebook.
That would have been embarrassing.
Get on it. Yeah.
Come on. I feel like once you're above the age of 20, it's kind of like,
You're supposed to be on
it's
Facebook.
it's like
See,
a
I'm
social
20,
duty.
so I'm
Okay,
just
there
at
you
the
go.
line.
A bunch of TikTokers. All right, we'll see you next time.